In this video, we are going to talk about artificial intelligence product deployment risk, maintenance risk, governance risk, and monitoring of artificial intelligence systems. We are going to talk about how to identify and how to mitigate those risks, what steps should be taken, and whom should a project manager talk about related to the activities in the project. My name is Nirmesh. I am an artificial intelligence expert and also lead auditor for ISO 42001. Now, those who do not understand what is ISO 42001, let me explain. It is an international standard to govern, to maintain, and to consistently monitor artificial intelligence systems safely, ethically, and in a consistent manner. So, this is what pertains or defines AIMS. ISO for track on what data is being fed to the system to train the model. Second risk is biased data or unintended output. So, a project manager has to track the data, but not only for the data privacy, it also has to look whether the data is biased or not. Is it a discriminatory data? Is it favoring one thing and not favoring the other thing? Is it like more data is related to one type of entity and some other aspects are overlooked? Is it that the data for certain things are lesser while data for certain things is in huge volume? So there should be no discrimination so that the intended output is good, and as a project manager it is your duty to maintain the non-biasness of the data. Third risk is ownership of the data for training generative AI models. Now, it is very important as a project manager to see who owns the data which is being fed to these generative AI models. If there are copyright issues, then that data should not be there. Whosoever owns the data has allowed it to be used for training of a artificial intelligence product. All this need to be properly tracked, listed down. Next risk is data minimization. Now you would be wondering that AI model requires huge amount of data to be trained, then how can we minimize the data? It has to be huge, it has to be immense, and so the risk will also be immense. You need to be very clear that on what topic this AI model is being trained, and then being a project manager you need to ensure that the data is related to that particular objective for which this AI model is to be trained. If you ensure all this, then only that data will be used for training which is meeting the objective. Beyond that, rest of the data should not be part of the data set which is being used for training of AI project or AI model. Ensure this and you will be able to comply to data minimization risk. The other risk is transparency and consent from the user who owns the data. You need to ensure that the data is taken from a body or an individual from wherever it has been taken. The proper consent is being recorded before providing this data to a generative AI model. Next risk is data detention and data deletion. Now, when you are building an AI product, it is important to understand that whatever data is being used either for the training of the AI product or in some other way, it should be very clear to what extent the company is going to retain that data and when will that data will get deleted. Now, this pertains to the privacy of the data. However, I am not only referring to PII data, even beyond PII data, whatever data you are using. Next risk is monitoring and compliance risk. It is essential for you as a project manager to track whether this AI product is meeting compliance with respect to the data which it is using. Talk to the compliance expert within your team or within your organization. Understand what are the regulatory compliances which are to be met when your company or your developers team provide data to this artificial intelligence product which they are building, are these compliances properly met? You need to monitor the way the data is being fed, monitor the way the data is being processed by the AI system, and monitor the way output is being generated. A proper monitoring and which results in proper compliance is the whole objective of what you should be doing with this particular risk, monitoring and compliance. Lack of explainability. So it is important that an AI product should not be a black box. It should not be like the data is coming in and the data is going out and you don't know what is happening on top of it. The AI system should be very transparent in telling what is it doing with the data, how is it generating the new data, what are the objectives by which it is generating the data, and what output it intends to provide.